Think of it like a flashlight. If you ever had a flashlight where the beam widens and narrows, that's the way you think about it. As you narrow the beam, smaller tweeter, it gets more focused. As you open the beam, woofer, it gets like a floodlight. Hey guys, Jerry from Showtime Audio. So we have Michael's 1994 Defender. This thing is amazing. Obviously, it's been completely restored from the ground up. But like a lot of these vehicles, they have a lot of gremlins. So when they're hand-built, they're being put together with tons of parts, and sometimes electrical or aesthetics or some of that isn't their main thing as far as like mechanical, paint, all that stuff, but all the electrical is not. So we're gonna be redoing the electrical and also adding a much better stereo. The current stereo is this little goofy Bluetooth thing, which is not useful at all. So we're gonna put in an 11-inch Halo Alpine touchscreen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, backup camera, full system, sub, the works. So this thing will be just like a modern vehicle. We put in the Milli Pro tweeters up here in the top, which is kind of traditional in these Defenders. Not traditional, but it's the traditional upgrade. When you do a full custom upgrade, there is no spot here. So we had to machine that spot, which is, there's metal, there's foam, there's metal, there's all kinds of stuff. We put the 3-inch millis here down in the bottom, only because unfortunately there is no other option short of making like a pod or something else. And then we have, we'll show you on the other side, we have the 6.5, which is kind of a different configuration. It's very different to put the Midbase here. But in this vehicle, they're acting as Midbase, which Midbase is much more omnidirectional, meaning it's harder to localize. You know how I always say it's bad that the speakers are facing your ankles because your ankles don't hear so hot? Well, when it comes to mid-bass, that's a little bit different because the mid-bass kind of doesn't have such a focus. The smaller the driver gets, the more focused it becomes. So think about it like a woofer's like this. It kind of goes everywhere. Mid-bass is a little smaller, mid-range is a little smaller, and tweeters a little smaller. Like think of it like a flashlight. If you ever had a flashlight where the beam widens and narrows, that's the way you think about it. As you narrow the beam, smaller tweeter, it gets more focused. As you open the beam, woofer, it gets like a floodlight. So therefore, that's why we have a mid-range driver, because we're not counting on the mid-bass to be more of the vocals. We're counting on the mid-range driver. Now, again, the angle is facing downward, but we use the DSP and we use some tuning to help us with that. The nice thing about DSP tuning is it allows us to deal with speakers that are not positioned properly, which is always a compromise in a car. In your home, you sit in the chair, there's these beautiful towers, they're perfectly organized, you can space them. Unless you're driving around your house, that is not possible in a car, right? There's steering wheels, dashboards, kick panels, consoles, all these things that are in the way. So we always have to contend with that. This is a little bit more to contend with because the speakers are facing down, but with the DSP, we're still able to adjust that and get a really, really good result. So Hondo made a new amp board. And so this is a Helix V8 Ultimate and an Up 1 FX, right? So both amps, they're plush nutted and mounted. So this whole board can technically be removed and serviced. But if you see, everything is braided, labeled, heat shrunk, completely cleaned up, because when we first got the truck, that's what we got a lot of, I was like, oh my God. So, and this is only part of it. If I show you the pile of all the other stuff we took out of it, man. So, and then there'll be some other changes. And then here's the mid-bass driver right in the front. And it's using this cavity as the enclosure for the mid-bass driver. In this situation, this is kind of one of the only real options for this setup, because you really can't you could do the door, but again, it's not advisable. You could do the kick, same thing. In this situation, we found that this works really, really well. And you get a ton of mid-bass, believe it, out of these. And again, we're using them more for the mid-bass aspect of it than for the vocal aspect. That's why we run a 3-way, so that we can put this, the 3-inch will do all the heavy lifting when it comes to the vocals. All the mid-bass will be carried by this, mid vocals, and then obviously the upper tweeters. Now the other reason we're using the Milli is because the Milli will play lower than a lot of tweeters. So same thing. So we're able to cheat and kind of bring the sound stage up, where if we had a tweeter that didn't play as low, we would be lacking a little bit because the middler is facing down. So just wanted to show you Hondo's amazing handiwork with the radio bracket. So what we're doing is we built this pod in order to house a 11-inch Halo, a floating monitor, to kind of make it look like, let's say, like a brand new G-Wagon or Audi or something along those lines. But we needed to create a pod in order to mount it and mount it securely. Because the thing with the Defender is the dash is all open, and we'll show you that. It's all open and there's really nowhere to put a radio per se, short of getting a whole new center stack. But in the older models, that's not there. So this is a 3-part. So there's the main part, which is this piece. If you can see, it's got this, and then there's an inner flange. You can see that. These panels are removable. So there's the 2 screws, and then there'll be 2 screws up here. So and the reason that is, if you look at this opening, the panel has to slide in over a factory trim that's there. And then in order to lock it in place, we put these caps on, which closes that gap, this gap that we create just to be able to get it in. And then those 2 screws will lock that in. But it still has a little bit of a give because the dash itself gives. So then we added these aluminum brackets where we're gonna put 2 screws and 2 screws. So now, not only is it locked in up, up, down, it's also side to side. So that will make it so that it's super secure and the radio will not bounce around, because obviously it's a Defender. The suspension isn't like, it's an SUV. So we don't want the radio bouncing around and possibly causing any damage. So this is the enclosure. In our typical fashion, we did Defender 90 logo just so it kind of blends in. It's got the feet on it. And if you can see here, the box is actually notched here. And the notch is so that these seat brackets can still go in. And so the box will still fit with the seat brackets. On the back, the box also has a slant in order to allow for the roll cage bar, so that the box will slide all the way up to the back of the console. That thing sounds amazing. It's a 10-inch audio mobile. I'm always blown away at how good those woofers sound, even in a small enclosure. We have a test box. We have a 12-inch full-size woofer that we use to test with, and we swapped it for this box once it was ready, and this 10 outperforms the 12. And we've actually had that experience before. We had that experience when we first got introduced to audio mobile. My wife had a truck with a 12-inch woofer in it, full size. We needed the space, and we put in one of these audio mobile 10-inch downfires, and we're blown away, and we've been fans ever since. So check out Hondo's handiwork. This is a Helix V8 DSP and a Up One FX. So we're using both of these. These run a 3-way active front stage and coaxial rears. And then the Up One FX runs our sub enclosure. If you look here, you can see that slant that we put in order to clear this bar. All right, and then here's all the fusing. So Hondo has the fusing for the V8, the monoblock, and then this runs a command center. So we added in a command center, which is basically a place to add all our accessories. The wiring was really bad, and we didn't want to do what they did, which is piggyback all the accessories off of one of the circuits. So we create like our own auxiliary fuse box that has power, ground, and ignition. So therefore, anything that needs to get added gets added to that place and is now in one central location. So just like a modern car. There's a fuse box dedicated to, let's say, accessories, another fuse box dedicated to the engine management, and this way it keeps everything nice and neat. And then, so this is the Halo. So we got the Halo, the 511, which is their 11-inch screen. And I mean, as you can see, it kind of looks like a modern Mercedes, Range Rover. The whole thing was to try and integrate it to make it look as if it came with the car. This car actually came with no provision for a radio. So we had to build this pod. This pod is multi-piece. So this piece slides in because it has to hook over this pocket. And then if you see here, there's a little seam, there's a filler piece that fills it in and locks it into place. So therefore it is like hooked on and then locked in by this piece. This way it keeps it nice and stable and secure so it doesn't move around. So this is the command center. So there's a cubby that goes in here. So you'll be able to pop the cubby out and then everything is labeled, right? So you'll have your grounds, your accessory, and your battery. So everything is here, easy, labeled, heat shrunk, so that all your accessories live in one spot. And so just show you the speakers. So we have the Hertz Milli Legends, the tweeters, the Midler, and the Midbase driver. Now, this car sounds phenomenal with the 3-way active fronts, the coax rears, and that 110-inch audio mobile. I mean, it is, and we haven't even tuned it yet. It is already really, really impressive. It's really difficult to get these cars to sound well because of the horrible speaker locations, but with the right equipment and the right setup, you can make this thing sound unreal. So again, one of the major things we try to do is make the car more creature comfort, driver safety friendly, right? So if you have a brand new car, it has all the modern amenities, right? Backup camera, everything is built in. So you want your cool car to have the same thing. So there is technically no real space on the back of this thing to put a camera. You could put one here, but then it would be blocked by the tire, right? Which is not really useful. You could put one down here, which we see, but then it's also blocked by a tire, not very useful. So what we're doing instead is if you see, we machined the bracket and we're gonna thread and tap it so it bolts to this adapter. And then if you look out the front, so the camera will live right here, kind of like a Jeep or a Bronco or any of your modern SUVs. But now you'll have, and this is the camera, it's already here. We just got to mount it in its bezel. And now you have a perfect view behind the vehicle and you can still see the tire so you can judge when you're backing up. It doesn't help you to have a camera up here and you can't see the edge of the tire because you're gonna hit it, right? So this way it helps you do that. Going with the creature comforts, right? So this client, he wants to drive this car, right? So he wants all the modern creature comforts. So what we're doing is we're adding this wireless charging magnetic base. So we heated and bent a bracket and then threaded the base into it. That's tapped and threaded so that it's strong. And the reason we did this is because we need some mounting surface so that we make sure it stays in place. We don't want to just stick a bracket or mount something to the windshield it's a beautiful truck. We want it to look as if it came with the car. And we're gonna fix this. It will not be green, but we're gonna mount this to the dash. And then the nice thing is you'll be able to have your phone right there, right in front. And when it's off, won't look like much of nothing. Finishing up on Michael's Defender, just wanted to show you. So check out the backup camera. That was that custom bracket that we made. I mean, check that thing out. Fits right between the spokes, gives you a perfect view. You can see just the edge of the tire, which is great because it gives you just the right amount of view. So as you're backing up, you know you're not about to hit something. And just to show you the cam, so look at the cam view. I mean, it is just perfect. This is the tire and the tire. So that'll give you a gauge where the back of the tire or the car is in relation to the cab. And then we put in this wireless charging mount. So you can just pop your phone in. And then once you pair it, you have your phone and the radio. We did the conductor, which is the master volume. And if you press it, it's also your bass knob. We fixed a ton of wiring as far as the heated seats, some crazy electrical wiring that was here. We put in a command center so that all our wiring, all our aftermarket wiring lives here. And we fixed his horn because his horn also didn't work. So it was just one of those things where the client had a ton of things that did not work. So he bought this car thinking it was very well done, and electrically it was not. There was quite a few gremlins. We also did some things with the door seals, which we fixed the door seals on the vehicle and just made it sound amazing. Also, obviously, we did the stereo upgrade. This thing sounds fantastic.
Visit our website at showtimeaudiochicago.com.